Diaries of Dead Thought, Sandy Beach's Bad Intentions, Chapter 5. The coast is not clear. In the last chapter, we saw good sweeping the deck finally of evil for a change. And yet again, the user escaping out of scene to his panic room. So, with good rejoining the guests and continuing the last bit of party, we turn to the user, being rejoined by evil as they ride the elevator up to the master suite. The master suite, the last structure at the top of the island. With the ding, the elevator opens to a magnificent suite, trumping the guest suite down below before. This is a full 3-bedroom suite. All the full upgrades. This is a $1,000 room at the Hamptons. All the amenities at hand. As the user and evil we pan around, we see a walk-in refrigerator with all the fruits and vegetables that have been picked by evil. An assortment of fish and other assorted seafood lay packaged and labeled and frozen in the walk-in refrigerator as evil walks out from the refrigerator, carrying what I assume is something for the user to help him calm down. As they come back out and rejoin, we see the user in his bedroom changing his outfit. He opens his closet to 10 black suits, completely identical. He takes off the suit, which is spotless, puts it on a rack, grabs the next suit and changes. Taking the necklace off of his neck. Now we finally seeing this up close. Not only is there the panic button, but around the chain is one of the objects, a coin. Now this is the first time I've ever really been able to have a look at it. Even now, being shrouded from view from the panic button, I become aware that he does not carry any of the other objects. He's got them hidden here in this sanctuary at the top peak of his mountain. He designed this suite so elegantly that even evil herself could not access it if he physically was not standing in front of the door, alive to open the door. A genetic code prompting the door through sensors, sensing his anxiety level and the amount of people that he is allowing to let into the suite. Many factors determine that would make it impossible for good or evil to access this suite from above. The wind current not allowing for any type of phase shifting floating up above. The sheer cliff side of the mountain, a complete vertical from the house to the suite. The top of the peak of that mountain ending there, a straight vertical drop. 1,000 feet distance between the next house. With all their muster, good could not even throw a football onto the upper deck. So again, we turn back to the user and evil. The user, again adorning his necklace, very carefully tucking it around his neck. It appears that the suit became more pressed, more cleaner, steam cleaned, I would say. Where a taggart old man's suit, maybe from, your grandfather's suit, still an impressive suit, but when he put it on, it became crisp edges, as if it was newer, from the influence of the objects. And the object that he carries around his neck, the coin. The coin. The coin grants good luck and favor to whoever carries the coin. If you buy a lottery ticket, it'll win. If you ask a girl for her phone number, you're going to get it, and she's just going to say yes to whatever that means. You randomly call a phone number, and it's going to be someone you know. Just everything that randomly you could fall off of a cliff and land on your feet. Just out of sheer dumb luck, you would be slightly better off by adorning the coin. This being the one object that he carries. Maybe just out of good luck, right? But now he stands in front of what appears to be a blanket wall. No artwork, just the same cryptic wallpaper as before. He stands in front of the door wall and puts his finger to the wallpaper, sliding it down 5 inches, and then 2 inches to the left. With a crack and a creak, a 6-foot panel, square section of the wall, snaps, creaks, and moves towards him, and then sliding down, revealing a secret portion of the wall behind. This, one of the caches that Good had witnessed earlier, down below. A little bit more impressive to see it actually open. As to Good removing the portion of the wall to see what's going on. Inside the closet, we can see the user has a couple random objects. Appears to be an old tattered wallet, maybe a memory of a past life. Some scraps of clothing, a bandana, and some old pictures. Not really much to suggest anything really memorable, a family. No pictures of kids or mother or anyone with him. More just physical objects to tie a memory to a past experience, something you can smell and hold. And there lies a case. Frustrated now, he looks at the case in his hand, remembering the powers now that he has, and he gives up every time he hides these objects. It's a good play. He's safer from Good. These objects being tucked away, these two objects. The case giving him immortality, just as good as evil. And the ring, giving him unknown abilities. Ones that, once activated, after stumbling through Annie Evil's advice, as she knows, were able to activate the ring, giving him the same abilities as Good and Evil to defy gravity, within his environment. All of this very true to technology and what the ring truly is, having to do with vibrations and creating what is like a bubble around him. Changing his environment, he can make it 90 degrees with good air, and he can jump to the moon, literally in one jump, or decide to go the other way, left or right, having the ability to change his course mid-flight. In other words, he can fly. But effortlessly, he can maneuver around inside this bubble. Good sword can penetrate this. So, just as a precaution, he hides these away. Now taking off the ring off his hand, he sets it back in the closet. Picking up now the case. At least thinking that after witnessing what good can do, he decides it might be a good idea to hold on to this case. As he holds the case in his hand, in his left hand, and adores the ring in his right, aligning the diamond top to bottom as to be seen straight through your knuckle. He holds his hand up in the sun to admire his hand and the new adorned ring. It appears that the sun can shine through the diamond in the center. There appears to be more going on than the ring that appeared, than can be seen. As if the two diamonds are actually just one larger diamond, and the gold band surrounds it. A spark of light shining through the ring in his hand. This scene from another angle, on the shadow on his face, as a bright light. You see the shadow of his hand, yet a dot of bright light appears, like a spotlight, from the light being cast through the ring, trapped and magnified, and pointed through. Now we turn back to Evil, standing in the corner. You know you can't just walk around wearing that stuff, right? You're the first one to even realize that you can hide it. So I really wouldn't go putting it on now. I know, Evil, but I feel so powerful. I don't even... What am I going to do when she shows up? I've told you what to do. You've spent more time than anyone I've ever... What you've set up here is amazing. And as long as we're careful, you'll be fine. Just take off that ring. She can still take off your head. And if that happens, it's going to be really hard to put it back on. And I don't have to have your back anymore. And if you have that ring and that case in your pocket, then it's my job to take it from you. And that's the end of your story. Jeez, as he fucking takes the ring off and puts it back in the case. With a somber sigh and scratch of his face, kind of realizing that his friends are not really his friends, more servants and tools around him. Anyway, he puts the ring in the case back in the secret portion of the wall, ushering with a wave of his hand and his button closes the portion of the door. He turns back now to a study portion, the study of his suite. There's several screens laid out showing camera screens. He thumbs through for some time, Evil helping him spot through where Good had been walking around in the house and where she is now, to hopefully help him get himself back into the house now, being afraid, obviously, that Good is waiting in ambush. After some time, they see that Good is nowhere to be seen. As soon as this incident has taken place, she pretty much disappeared. Now, arrogantly sure, the user decides that he needs to get back. We only have 15 minutes before everyone's going to get really antsy. So, let's go, he says, stubbornly. Evil gives a warning. You better be careful. She's really good at hiding, okay? As he pushes the button on the elevator, ushering the elevator opens, and they enter the elevator, exiting scene. Now we turn back to inside of the elevator, with Evil and the user writing down. I appear to be standing in front of the elevator doors, as if I am in the way, waiting for the doors to open. The doors open with a creak and crash, shudder. The user ushering Evil to take the first step out, fearing ungodly knows what on the other side of the door of ambush of Good. Evil walks out and calmly and discreetly, "Come on, you're fine." The user, nervous now, scratching his fists in his hands. All right. He takes his step. He begins to walk out of the elevator. And in a slow motion pan, with his first step off the elevator, he takes his first step to the ground. Now tied in on this scene of his foot in the elevator, we see the weight shift off the elevator in slow motion, as a ribbon and hair shift in behind the elevator. Still in slow motion now, we pan back to the back of the elevator, now looking out to Evil, standing ushering her hands, now that it's fine, and the user one step out of the elevator. Good snaps into her human form. Quick in tow and still panning in slow motion, she pulls out her sword, and with a quick slash and grab, she slashes the user's neck, and grabbing the necklace, yanking it from him with a... And with one hand on the user's head, Good stands now with the necklace and the object. "One down," she says. Evil stands in amazement. Oh no, babe, you can't do that. Even I can't get upstairs. Don't kill him. Oh my God, I don't even know. This'll be a nightmare for all of us. She looks back at Evil like, what? She hesitates for a moment as the life begins to drain out of the user. You can feel his knees begin to wobble. Again, evil pleads with good. Just bring him back to life. You don't have to give him any of that shit. She shrugs, puts the objects again to the user, seemingly connecting him again to all the objects, the one ring, as it touches his shoulder, directly against the now very apparent wound that good has inflicted on the user. The second that the ring touched his neck, it's as if the wound reverses itself. Just as fast as the injury was inflicted, it reverses itself, and he gasps back to life, grabbing at his neck, realizing that he no longer has the objects. And he's lost a good 1 minute of time. As now he turns back to good, holding his old man panic button and the first object. As the door dings close, riding the elevator down to the first suite. Cutting now back behind evil, seeing the user stumbling to his feet as the elevator door closes. Evil smirks and shrugs and says, "I told you not to carry that shit around." "Oh," the user says, as he stops and reflects on what just actually happened. As he looks down at his suit, as he shakes and stumbles, his heart pounding now hard, not connected to his object above, his heart pressure racing, a feeling of thirst and hunger comes over him that he hasn't experienced for a long time. His suit, his black suit with the white undersuit, stained with blood now, from head to toe, except for his sleeves, of course. He stands around freaking out in front of the guests, in front of him, trying to keep his composure, realizing that his suit is not going to fix itself. He ushers evil to go retrieve him a new set. As he stands up, he turns to his guests. "All right, people, 7:30.